All right, let's start out standing today. Set up with your feet parallel, about hip width apart. We turn sideways to you. For your breathing warm-up, we're going to start with your arms and the rhythm of your breath. When you exhale, I want you to bring your arms forward at about chest height with the back of your hands facing each other. Then when you breathe in, you're going to turn your palms up so your thumbs are leading on the way back. And then when you exhale, turn the back of the palms in. Back of the palms isn't a thing. Back of the hands. Exhale forward. Inhale back. And let's just do that one more time. Forward. Now add flexion. Bend your knees a little. Round your spine. Reach forward. And then straighten the knees. Extend the spine as you go back. Made that sound real dramatic. That wasn't a surprise, was it? And then inhale back. Exhale. Scoop the abs and flex the spine. Push into your heels, lift the chest and chin. 2 more times, flex forward. And lift up. 1 more like that. All right, now let's keep playing with this. When you reach back, give me different angles. And it can be different every time. Just open, feel the expansion of your breath. Let your head move a little bit. And then rounding forward, turning the palms up, opening and flexing. Lifting. They don't even always have to be on diagonals. It could just be overall height of the arms. 2 more times. Flexing down. Lifting from the heart. And last one. And then back up. Okay. Let's move in this plane now. Let's do windshield wipers. No, not really. All right, but I do want you to do a thoughty, thinky movie kind of thing. We can still do a parallel foot for this, but don't get too fixed on a position. Reach your arms out to the side, and I want you to sense traction. So push your arms towards the opposite walls just as hard as you can for a second. You'll feel like, drawing down of the arm. Bring your arms forward just a teeny bit, inch. Do it again. And if that feels less strain, that's where I want you to keep the arms for this, just a little forward of you. Okay. You're going to leave your arms reaching out wide, and I want you to go into a side bend. So you could just pretend you're an airplane with wings, and we're just taking a turn. Feel it as a true side bend where you're getting that opening through the waist, contraction on the other side. Now, we're going to go on to one leg from here, and I want your focus to be how you adjust the angling and the shape of your spine to handle this shift of you lifting the leg up. So you could see like I get a little more toned, a little more long. I'm going to put the foot back down, kind of collapse so I can articulate up, collapse down to the other side, and then sense the change to how you create stability through the whole body. So we kind of visit the star pose, come back down, let yourself have that stretch for the waist and hip, and then back up. All right, so I'm going to keep doing it, obviously, but you do not have to move perfectly on rhythm with me. You also don't have to get the leg up very high. It could just be like about tapping it and just finding support. Just try to return from a side bend just so you can feel the flow, and then over, and then back up. Okay. Or the arms also with an energy to balance out the rest of the limbs. And then down. And 1 more to each side. It's my arms that are fatigued. I don't know if it's from this or from just like whipping them back and forth on the last exercise. Who knows? Okay. Side bend. 1 more time. And then just explore. Sense energizing from your leg through the torso to the head. Pose that side bend again and come on up. All right, just wiggle out a little bit. All right, let's go down onto your back for more wiggling fun. Undulating hip rolls. Feet about 6 to 8 inches away from your body. Leave a little space between your legs. We'll try to work with your legs parallel and arms by your sides. As you exhale, we're going to do a hip roll to lift, curling the pelvis to start articulating the spine off the mat, a vertebra at a time till you're at your shoulder blades. The neutral arch will come back into your back, and then you're just going to flex your hips and drop. So we want to create a flex spine on the way up towards neutral, or even a little anterior if that feels comfortable, and lower back down. I don't know that I always want to tell people to really push for that. Roll up. And then just flex the hips and sink one more time, sending that wave through your body, and lower down. Now reverse it. Push straight up from your hips. You just extend the hip joint, then you're going to roll down, making flexion on the return. Press up on the exhale. Inhale into your back as you roll down. 2 more times. Press up and roll back down. Last one like that. Lifting and lower back down. All right. Take your arms out to the side. I want you to stay with palms up, and you can go straight out if that's uncomfortable. A little bit lower might relieve that. Hold on one second. Nobody needed that cough. Okay. Imprint as you exhale. Then lift your legs up one at a time into tabletop. I'm going to have you turn out so you're in more of a diamond shape with your legs, and then drop the height of your feet a little lower than your knees. We're going to do our toe taps today with your legs laterally rotated. When you exhale, lower one leg and tap your toes on the mat. As you inhale, take that leg back up into the air. Now try your other foot tapping down. All right, so now that you've felt what the difference is going to be, if you want to adjust the height of your feet for more or less challenge, it'll really change it. Like your feet a lot lower makes the load feel lighter. If your feet are higher, you're going to be reaching out way farther, increasing the challenge on your abs. So you could explore, even if that means do it different every time, and make sure you can feel that it's different. You know, that you have to breathe more controlled, or even just go slower to sense where you can barely hold on to your stability. 3 more times. Keep connecting with the breath, using the exhale to stay connected with how you're stabilizing. 1 more time, and then back up. Before you lower your legs, let's turn them back to parallel, and then lower them back down. All right, bring your arms in by your sides again. We're just going to do a few arm circles. As you inhale, reach your arms overhead, but only as far as you can stay neutral at your rib cage. Exhale, circle around to the sides. So the trick is to breathe into your back so you can sense those ribs keeping contact. Exhale, circle around. 1 more time, reaching back and circle around. Let's reverse that. Inhale, take the arms to overhead. Exhale, draw the abs in, lift your arms and return. Inhale as you trace your circle, and exhale back down by your sides. 1 more time, inhale around, and exhale to lower. All right, let's flip you over. All right, setting up in quadruped, you want your shoulders over your wrists, knees under your hips. I suggest spreading your fingertips apart wide. That takes some of the pressure off your wrists. And we're going to start out with our focus on what's going on at the hands, the shoulders, the shoulder blades, the rib cage, and how they're all connected to each other. So the first thing I want you to experience, keep your hands planted. Can you try to rotate your upper arm in and out? You'll be limited how much that can happen because you're not moving your hands. But it's also surprising how much you can move. I want you to try to rotate your arms so what we would call like the pit of your elbow is pointing forward and the point is pointing back. And as we're rotating the arms that way, if you sense a very gentle pushing away from the floor, you may notice that your palms dome up, kind of like the arches under your feet, and they get a little lift. We want to encourage that right now to enhance how we're using the muscles around the shoulder blades. Now, let's try to do an isolated retraction and protraction, very small, of the blades. When you breathe in, draw your shoulder blades closer together, and you'll sense your chest shifting a little bit down towards the mat. When you exhale, push away from the floor. Your rib cage lifting again will spread your shoulder blades apart. Draw the shoulder blades in towards the spine, but keep sensing them flat against the ribs. So they're gliding around, and then exhale, spreading apart as you push away from the floor. Inhale, shoulder blades together. Are you still doming? Exhale, push away. Make sure the arms keep that rotation. Last one that way. Now, when you exhale, you're going to spread the shoulder blades apart and round your spine right into a cat stretch. Okay, so that becomes part of the move. Then as you inhale, stick out your tailbone, draw your shoulder blades together, lift your chest and chin to make your extension. Exhale, tuck your tail under, round the spine. All right, so here the rib cage shifts away from the floor, pushes up into your shoulder blades when they spread. Now roll back out, and as the shoulder blades come together, keep your rib cage pushing against them. So I'm still pressing away with my hands to lift the chest and chin. Exhale, tuck your tail under. Keep even weight between your arms and your legs as you flex. Inhale, roll it back out. Lift your heart, lift your chin. Last one. Exhale, flex your spine. And then inhale, roll it back out. Okay, sorry, headphone adjustment. Now, I'm going to have you go into a bend to elbow position in a second. Before we get there, and that's really just to warn you so you've got the good hand position. Before we get there, I want you to take your right leg. You're going to extend it straight out at hip height and then bring it back down. And then straight out and bring it back down. On the next 3, let's add your opposite arm reaching out at the same time and then back down. And again, reach away and then back down. One more like that. Now we're going to go up a 4th time. And this time I want you to bend your elbow and bend your knee, bringing it to the same side shoulder. So I have to turn out and then reach back. And again, bend and reach away. One more time. Bend, reach away, lower back down. All right. Hand's going to stay down, but I want the same leg up. This is where the elbows will bend. Reach the leg out just into that straight position. You're going to bend your elbows like you've done a halfway down into a push-up. Keep your gaze at the floor. And then you're going to turn your toes out and then back in. And I'm trying to maintain the same amount of incline the whole time as I rotate the leg back and forth. Let's do 2 more of these. Rotate out and in. Last one, twist and in. Push back up, tuck your knee in. All right, just kind of rebalance out your weight. We're going to go through that whole series on the other side. So first 3 reps, we're just gliding the leg back, and that's how I want it to feel. It's a glide and lift to hip height, tap and pull in. Reach away and up. That gliding motion helps you track the leg in line with the hip joint pretty well. Let's add your arm going up now. Reach away and come back down. And again, drawing the abs in as the limbs reach towards the opposite wall. On the next one, let's hold it up. Pa-pow. All right. Bend your elbow and draw your knee towards the shoulder and then push away and go back to parallel leg. Turn out, bend, reach away, and bend, reach away, lower down. All right. Hands ready for the half a push-up. Now, send your leg out to hip height and then bend your elbows and reach that leg up. All right, draw the shoulder blades back and down, keep them stable. Turn your toes out and then back in. Rotate and return. Check in on your upper body. You can manipulate how much load's on it. If it's too much, you can just shift back at your hips a little, so a little more weight goes over the legs. By the way, you're almost done. Okay, come on up. Tuck that knee down. All right, let's just, one more thing here. Rotating. I want you to take exhale breath, sit back. So like the weight should come off your wrist at that moment. Inhale back to the center. Other side. Rotate, reach back, and then center. And twist and reach. I'm leaning my hips back, but I'm tipping my sit bones up and allowing my shoulder and my chest to fall. Let's do 2 more. And return. Last one like that. And return. All right, let's get back on the back. Okay. Let's work with your hands behind your head. Angle your elbows up a little bit. Take a pause just to settle. can kind of wiggle your hips around a little bit to find neutral. You want your pubic bone and hip bones about level with each other so that you're creating the natural curve of your low back without having to tense to arch it. And then all your ribs should keep good, heavy contact into the mat. All right, let's do a couple ab preps to see how everything's feeling. When you exhale, tip your chin down slightly as you start to curl your head and shoulders off the mat till you're at the bottom tip of your shoulder blade. And then inhale as you lower back down, a bone at a time. As you exhale, tip your chin down, flex forward. See if you can keep your head relaxing back into your hands and then lower back down. We want the force pulling us up to come from down here. So if the head's part of the weight you're lifting, you're going to sense the work through your abs. Inhale down, and that way we can put minimal tension on the neck. Exhale, curl forward, and inhale back down. One more time like that. Round up. Try to keep the pelvis stable and lower back down. Let's do one pulse when you get to the top. Flex up on your exhale. Now rock back just a little. Exhale, lift back up, and then come all the way down. Let's do 2 pulses. Curl up to the top. Now rock back for 1, lift, 2, lift, go all the way back down. Exhale, curl forward. Rock back for 3, lift, 2, lift, 1, lift, and all the way down. Exhale, curl up. Rock for 4, lift, 3, lift, 2, lift, 1, lift, and all the way down. Exhale, curl up. Now rock for 5, lift, 4, lift, 3, lift, 2, lift, 1, lift up, and all the way down. One more set. Exhale, flex forward, and rock for 6, lift, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all the way down. All right, a set of obliques, one arm chopping, alternating marching. When you exhale, curl up. You're going to rotate, and as you chop across, lift the knee on that same side. Lower all the way back down. Other side. Exhale, rotate and march. And inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Make sure you're bringing your gaze so you're looking where the hand ends up in the chop. And lower down. Exhale to lift. Try to resist your pelvis rotating, but do let the upper body increase the flexion and rotate together. Last 3. Exhale to lift and drop. 2. And one more time and lower back down. All right, I want you to reach out your arms and your legs and just take a real big long stretch, wiggling your toes, wiggling your fingers. Oh, in my head, I'd promised in this workout we were going to do some stretchy stuff. Tuck your knees into your chest and just squeeze yourself in a really tight ball. Even if you lift your head off the mat, you don't have to. That's up to you. And then go out again. Because, I like to work hard as much as the next person. It's nice to feel your muscles burn, blah, 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 blah. Let's squeeze in again. But if that's all we ever do, we're making a lot of compression on our joints that might also make our muscles not work as efficiently after a certain point. So balancing out things that are compressive, like we just squeezed in, now we're reaching out and making traction. Blending both of those sensations gives us a better chance to just to organize our joints the right space across that the muscles can all work the best. I'm sorry, I'm starting to lecture. Flip over onto your stomach. I'll lecture you while you're exercising. All right. W shape with your arms, legs parallel. Let's leave a little space in between them today. I would like to start out with a couple regular reps of breaststroke prep 1. So your arms are in a position that will help you stabilize your shoulder blades, and I want you to feel some gliding here like we've felt in other exercises today. Take an inhale breath, and as you do, reach your head away from your toes so you visualize yourself long, that traction again. When you exhale, press into your forearms and start to lift your head and chest away from the mat. Now, your forearms are helping you lift up, but you can also use that to pull your shoulder blades back and down as you come up. Stay there for a breath in. When you exhale, compress your abs and start to lower down in order through each rib, then your neck, and then your head. Breathe in, make yourself longer again at the bottom. When you exhale, pull your abs in, start to lift up. Let your gaze go off the edge of the mat. Pull your shoulder blades back and down and try to push your chest forward. Stay there, breathe in, and exhale to lower. Why don't we do that one more time? As you hold for your inhale, make your neck feel longer, ears away from the shoulders. Exhale, start to lift up. Feel how your collarbones open up wider as your shoulder blades pull back and down. Now stay there, let your inhale go right into your chest where you've made all that room, and then exhale, compress your abs, lower back down. All right, now we're going to add one of my favorite little silly things, which is a little jostle at the top. Go ahead and press yourself up again on your next exhale. And whatever you would say the peaks bend, so like we usually try to leave one or two ribs down, can you come just a little bit off the very top? And so now as you're holding there at 90%, reach your head away from your toes again. And now with your forearms, I want you to make a little jostling motion. So you can see I'm kind of trying to drag back and forth like this, and using it to make a push-pull that's actually dragging my body back and forth. As you're doing this motion, I'm going to have you add to get a little more bounce. You're going to curl your toes underneath. And then you can get more of an impulse going, okay? I wanted you to sense the direction of the drag first, but with the toes here, it actually gets a little more springy. As you're springing back and forth like this, as we're just talking about different ways we can make space, this is almost like shaking yourself loose, getting rid of some of that compression just by wiggling rather than stretching. All right, come on back down. What's cool about that is even if that feels weird to you, it's really good endurance for your upper back muscles and your posture to hold it up that long. All right, now let's do a little stability work. We're going to stay low in a hover. I'm going to have you reach your arms out to the side with the arms hovering off the mat. Let's stay low like this in windmill our arms. You're going to do an inhale breath. Bring one arm to your hip, one arm to your ear. And then an exhale, both arms back out to the side. Switching, inhale close by the sides of the body, and exhale out wide. And inhale, draw it in. Exhale, compress the abs, keep floating up that upper back. Inhale, and exhale, open, one more each side. Breathe in. And exhale out wide. Inhale to your sides. Exhale out wide. Come on down. Push yourself back into the shell stretch. Round your spine. Stay here and take a breath in. Hold for an exhale, pulling your abs in and relaxing your upper body. Breathe in again. And then when you exhale, you can roll back up to sitting. All right. Give me a tall kneel. Let's take your arms out to the side, and I always set my arms in the stop sign arms even when I don't want them, which I don't. Let's just go arms out straight. We're actually going to do a bent elbow variation right now. Inhale to prepare. When you exhale, you're going to rotate for 3 pulses, bending your back elbow. And 2, and 3. Now big inhale back to the center. Other side for 3. Deeper 2, and 1. Return to center. Exhale, twist. Bring it out 2. Further 3. Back to the middle, and rotate. 2, and 3. Back to center. Exhale, and 2, and 3. Inhale, center. Last time. 3, and 2, and 1. Back to the center. Take one leg up, so we're in a kneeling lunge. I'm going to have you go through rotation with port-a-bras. So I'm going to have you place both hands on your knee. Now, the one that corresponds to the front leg, you're going to put that on the side. Other one can go on the top. When you breathe in, you're going to rotate away from the front knee, lifting your chest and chin. When you exhale, you're going to go towards the front knee, but you're going to flex. Inhale, lift and extend. Exhale, flex forward towards the knee. If this does not disrupt your balance, let your knee come towards the midline as you flex towards it. Let it turn out slightly when you extend, in slightly. If that makes you feel wobbly, get rid of that thought altogether and just hold it still. One more time. And rotate, flex down, and then back up. Okay, switch legs. Da-da-da-da. All right, so I got the hand on the outside of the knee. I'm going to start with that one. rotate it in. Now I'm going to turn away, inhaling, and then exhale, flexing towards the front knee. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, softening and flexing the upper body. Heart up, chin up, and exhale down. And just 1.5 more. I was up when I should have been down, and now we're done. Boom. All right, let's get to the front edge of your mat. Have a seat. A few half rollbacks to ready you for a little rolling like a ball. Sit up tall over your sit bones. Feet could be flat or out a little further so your toes are up. Arms forward at chest height. That's not an exercise, don't mind me. Okay, on your exhale, round your upper body forward so you're curled over your legs. Stay in the C shape and initiate rolling back from your pelvis so you curl off your sit bones and towards your sacrum, and then round forward till you're on the sit bones again. As you roll back, we're using your abs isometrically to keep the C shape of your spine. Inhale, curl forward. Now, even though you're flexed, it's still not your deepest flexion, so don't worry about chin to chest. Leave a little space so that as you roll back, you end up looking forward at the wall in front of you. And then when you curl forward, down at your shins, just one more time, roll back, keeping that lower spine rounded, and dive forward. Okay, you can sit up tall again. If you don't feel like doing the fully, do some more reps of that. If you're going for the full exercise, make sure there's plenty of mat left behind you. Rock your weight just back of your sit bones, and then take your legs up one at a time so you could just sense your way into the balance before you start. All right, elbows out wide, hands are on your shins. If you prefer, you could also put your hands on your thighs. All right, I want you to feel tension before you go. So to become a ball, increase the flexion of your spine by lowering your gaze to your thighs and scooping out the abs. That makes tension in the front of your body, elongating the tissue in the back. Now push your shins or your thighs against your hands and your hands back into your legs and feel that tension to your arms and your legs to keep the round shape. When you breathe in, roll back to your shoulder blades. And when you exhale, curl up and try to balance without tapping down your feet. As you roll back, it should feel just like inopportune time to lose my mic. So I want to roll back, just bringing the legs with me, where before we tried to disassociate the pelvis from the legs. Roll back and curl back up. How are the arms doing? Keep sticking them out wide with your elbows just a little lower than your shoulders. Feel your biceps toning up as the knees and the hands push against each other. 2 more times. And then lift. Last one. Feel the breath in your back. Feel those abs compressing when you exhale. All right, lower your feet back down. Let's guide yourself down onto your back. Let's just bang out 2 exercises from the ab series. We'll do single leg stretch and double leg stretch. When you exhale, tip your pelvis into an imprint so you can sense your abs shortening, your low back getting a little longer towards the mat, and then take one leg up at a time into tabletop. Pose your hands on the sides of your knees. Nod your chin down. Curl up your head and shoulders so you're looking at your legs. If your neck's tired, you can keep your head down as you do these. All right, reaching out one leg at a time. On your exhale, send that leg out. Inhale as they start to switch, and exhale to reach away. All right, so your job is to stay in your ab prep. Try to keep the stability of your ribs and hips. Resist rotating your pelvis as you alternate those legs. Okay, so if you chose the head down, you still have to work to keep the imprint, and it might be even harder to hold your ribs down when your head's not lifting. Just expect that challenge. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's take your knees in. Release your head down. Leave the legs in the air. Try to maintain that imprint. All right. Double leg stretch. Load's going to feel a lot heavier. All the limbs are moving at once. Nod your chin. Curl up your head and shoulders and look at your legs. Stay for a breath in. When you exhale, reach your legs out straight while you take your arms back. Inhale, circle your arms and tuck your knees back in. Exhale, arms and legs reach away from each other. Inhale, circle and catch the legs. Exhale as you reach out. Circle around. Use the breath to stay lifted and circle and catch. 4 more times. Exhale. Inhale around. Make sure the arms do not go beyond the head. The image is that you're taking a big hat off the top of the head. Last one, reach it out and circle in. All right, head down. Give me a little kneesy, squeezy into your chest. All right, legs back down, a shoulder bridge. We want to work with a little space between your legs. You want your feet pretty close to your hips. This is a challenging intermediate exercise, so before we do the full, let's do a few hip pulses to prepare the hip joints. When you exhale, press your pelvis up into a bridge. That should give you a stretch here. When you inhale, come down most of the way. 3 pulses to go up, a little higher with each pulse, and you end at the top. Inhale most of the way down. Let's do it again. Exhale, pulse up 1. Squeeze from right where the glutes meet the hamstrings, and most of the way down one more time, and see if we can unite that into one sensation, pulling the whole leg up. 3. Now come all the way down. All right. So again, if you don't like this intermediate one, do more sets of what we just finished. All right, here we go. Exhale. Press your pelvis up into a bridge. When you breathe in, you're going to roll one foot off the mat, take it into tabletop, and extend it up to the ceiling. When you exhale, flex your foot and lower your leg, then point your toes, lift back up to the ceiling. Flex and drop your foot, point and lift it up. One more time, lower it, point and lift it, bend your knee, roll your foot down, drop your hips. Exhale, hips up to bridge. Now your other leg, roll it off the mat, tabletop, and extend it up. Flex, drag your leg down, point and lift. Flex and lower, point and lift. One more time, point and lift, bend your knee, roll the foot down, drop your hips. We're going to do that one more time on each side. Exhale, hips up to bridge. Now press into the big toe of the foot that's staying down. Now roll that other leg all the way up. Get those hips level. Flex, drag down. Inhale up. Drag down the heel. Now use your toe. Draw a line to the ceiling. Imagine erasing it with your heel. Point and lift up. Bend your knee. Roll through the foot. Drop your hips. Last time. Exhale. Hips up to bridge. All right, inhale, roll the leg off. Get that energy in the inner thigh on the support leg. Now flex and drag it down, point and lift up. Flex and lower, point and lift. One more time, point and lift. Bend your knee, roll through the foot, drop your hips down. Let's get up on your side. Push yourself up. All right, last move. Runner's stretch position. One knee turned out with your foot against the inner thigh of your other leg. Take the arm on that side. Make a rainbow shape. Reach down towards your pinky toe. That'll give you a little hamstring stretch. Then draw a rainbow and plant your hand on the floor. We're going to come up into a side bend. I want you to pivot on your knee. Just take a nice big stretch. And then lower down with control. Good for that shoulder. All right, first arm reaches towards the toes. Rainbow. Press into your hand. Lift your hips. Side bend. And then back down. One more time on this side. Reach to the foot. Up and over. Hips up. Side bend. And then back down. All right, let's switch. Going from that bent knee side again, make your rainbow shape. Reach towards your toes. Draw the rainbow arc. Press into the floor, pivot on your knee. Push those hips forward, side bend. Work coming down. And then switch arms again. Go into that stretch. Gazes to the side of your knee. Rainbow shape. Lift your hips. Big stretch. And then back down. One more of each. Dive forward. Rainbow. Lift your hips. Side bend. And come back down. Done. All right, friends. Keep killing it out there.